Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or if you've come back to view us again, welcome back to the channel. As always, my name is Nick, and I do talk toys of all kinds here, so if this is not the kind of content you're into, go ahead and change the channel, because that's what we're doing. Today what we're going to do is we're going to stay in the gear of nostalgia. Super 7 released an Animaniacs line not too long ago, and I was very excited about this because it contained two of my favorite cartoon characters from the 90s. If you do know these two characters, they are amazing. It is Pinky and the Brain. I wasn't that interested in the Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. I'll probably pick them up just because I still like the characters and I want to complete the line, but Pinky and the Brain were the biggies for me. The reason for that is, of course, like I said, I'm all about the villains in that, and Pinky and the Brain, they were two mutated lab mice. Brain always had these frickin' I got a little tongue-tied there. He always had these frickin' schemes to take over the world, and of course they always ended in disaster, and Pinky just ran right into disaster headlong with him. The Brain, super book smart, absolutely no common sense. Pinky, super absurd and a lot of fun. These guys were created in 1993 to be a block of, or a segment in the original Animaniacs series. It was a very small segment in the series, but the characters became beloved. And around 1996 or 1998, they got their own animated series by Warner Brothers. You could probably check that out on any streaming service. Of course, if you've never seen them before, I highly recommend it. And then again, they reappeared in the new Animaniacs season that released a while back. So for me, getting these figures was a super nostalgic thing. I absolutely love the two characters, like I said. And this review is a bit late, admittedly. The reason for it is when I got Pinky and the Brain from my local comic shop the first time, which is Lemon Juice McGee's Comic Cavalcade here in Somerset. Of course, you've heard me talk about him. My Pinky had a minor quality problem from Super 7. It snapped at the elbow joint. It wasn't from overtaxing. It just looked like the elbow joint may have just haphazardly had glue in it from there. And I'm sure it's a QC issue, and that's fine. I've since removed that elbow and actually reattached the joint with a wire and a little bit of drilling, things like that. So it does have a working elbow joint, but that's not the Pinky I'm going to review. The reason this took so long is I had actually ordered another Pinky from the Big Bad Toy Store. And for that, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and leave a link to both of these figures below, like I always do, just in case you do want some of your own, and they do tickle the nostalgia bug a little bit. That being said, let's take a look, check these guys out, and I'll let you know what I think at the end. Okay guys, so here of course we have the standard Super 7 outer boxes for Pinky and the Brain. Again, there's nothing really special or remarkable about these. They are the standard Super 7 boxes. They do just have the Animaniacs logo and the Brain and the Animaniacs logo and Pinky on them. Nothing on the sides, and of course the back is covered with legalese at the bottom because you love to see it. You can pause and read that if you want. It's actually the same at the bottom of the Brains box as well. Okay, but you pull those out of the box, and what you get are two very shiny Animaniacs logo boxes. Of course, you see all the characters there. Yakko, Wacko, Dot, and Pinky and the Brain. You look down here, it does say Pinky, it does say the Brain, so the boxes are pretty well the same, except for the size. If you look here, Pinky's box with the Ultimates logo is a tad smaller than the Brain's, but there's reason for that. Brain does come with some size accessories, and Brain's head is pretty damn big too. So, again, these are good heavy figures. The detail's pretty good. But yeah, Brain does come with a little bit bigger of a set of accessories to make up with the figure being so short. You turn Pinky's box around, and of course there's nothing on the back of the shiny one. You turn this around, and much the same thing. Let's slide these shells off and take a look a little closer. Alright, here's where the boxes start to differ. You slide off the outer shell, and of course you'll see the windows for the figure here. Of course you'll get Animaniacs and Pinky, and of course you'll be treated to a view of the accessories. Well, some of them, because the figures are generally in the way of tray 2 in both of these boxes. Again, you'll see Brain's giant cranium taking up most of the front of the package. You look down here, of course, it'll say Animaniacs, the brain. Up here, it's got the ages 14 plus and the Super 7 logo. You go to the top, there's a hole where you can see down in it like the busted cage that they just broke out of. You look on the back, and of course, you're treated to a view of the character. Normally, what you would see here is the legalese would be at the bottom, and there'd be some kind of character bio, but here there's not. It's just a cage graphic and the brain's picture. Pinky is much the same way. You look up here, and of course, in the corner of each of them is a Super 7 logo. And on the bottom, I do believe, is where they put all the legalese on these. I'll flip it over and we'll check. Yep, caution may contain small parts. Again, if you want to read all that, it's the same on the other box. I'll pause and let you do that. But I don't know anybody in their right mind that just sits and reads the legalese on the bottom of a damn box. Alright, when you open the box for Pinky, what you'll be treated to is a 2-tray experience. With the brain only having one head sculpt, Pinky's actually got two. He's got one where he's been knocked kind of silly here. I love the animated paint job for that and the tongue out. The second one here, he does have his mouth open like he's told a funny joke and he's smiling. You'll get a flask with some fire here. You go over and you look up and you'll get his grappling gun, which he does carry through a lot of the shows. You'll get his little notebook because you know he's always taking notes when Brain's talking. You look over here and you got the Farfig Newton autograph picture. Pinky was in love with Farfig Newton, if you guys remember. You come over here, you get his hand with the pencil to take notes with. You get a couple different hand sculpt options. He does come with quite a few. Again, over here, you'll get some more science equipment. You'll get another flask and a beaker. And here you'll get another device. I don't remember what device this is and what episode it was in. I know the device does not light up. It would have been a cool feature if it had, but this is another pretty cool additive for it. So that's basically all you get with Pinky. It is a pretty loaded figure. Alright, much like Pinky, when you do open the Brains box, it does come with another 2-tray experience. Super 7's really good at this. You look, Brain does come with a somber head sculpt, which is on him when you get him out of the box. I put the more animated one on him because I feel like it fits display better. You look here and you do have the world keychain. I can't remember what episode this was from. And you look down here and of course he does have several different hand options like Pinky did. You go to tray number 2 and of course you have Brain's plan to take over the world. You have his pointer and the paper clip they break out of the cage with. You have several different flasks of science materials. You have a magnetic device that pulls the earth down in the theme song. The lever does work, and the magnet does rotate on this. Too bad it's not actually magnetic. But again, 2-tray experience, really cool of Super 7 to include all this. Alright, and standing here in front of us, ready to take over the world, are Pinky and the Brain themselves. If you look at the Brain, he is a pretty damn top-heavy figure. I did put the raged out head sculpt on him just because I thought it fit the display better. He is top-heavy, and in a lot of poses he will not stand. I will forewarn you about this. So I did have to stick him on a McFarlane stand as he does not come with one. But he does stand way better with one of those. He will fall a lot if you move him without one. He does have several points of articulation, pretty standard for Super 7, really. The elbow joints are good. It does have shoulder rotation, goes up and down. Of course, the wrists turn and rock. Head turns 360. It does have a bit of ab crunch and turn, which is really cool. His legs do go out a few millimeters, not very far. The feet are articulated as they do go up and down, and they do rotate. You look over here at Pinky, and of course he has a more happy, kind of not knowing what's going on face like he did in the cartoon. Very, very accurate to the show, though, just as Brain was. Pinky's articulation is pretty much the same. He does have the ab crunch. His legs don't go out very far. His knees are articulated as to where Brain's aren't because he is a taller figure. So he does have an extra point there. The tails do turn and move. They are articulated as well. But he does have the same articulation Brain did. So these figures are epic. They're very accurate to the show. I feel like they do hit the nostalgia button on the head for me, as these are two of my favorite characters, and these are two of the better figures Super 7 have ever done. For me, solid 10 out of 10, guys. Solid 10 out of 10. I would pick these up if I were a fan of the show. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out and checking out the video today. Again, like I said, I'm going to stay in the nostalgia gear with these two figures. So I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I hope, again, like some of you remember this show. So if you do remember this show, you love Pinky and the Brain, leave me a narf in the comments below. Because if you know what that means, you've seen the show, of course. If you don't know what narf means, go ahead and watch the show, and then you'll know. So again, like I said, channel's growing. You guys are the scheme to take over the world that makes this channel go. I love you guys all, and I hope you're finding everything you want for your collection. I hope you guys are still out on the hunt daily. I was out on the hunt today. Unfortunately, I didn't find a whole lot I wanted, but sometimes that's just how it goes. Now, there are some other reviews coming down the pipe. I do have a second one coming today, so if you guys want to stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to review the Beast Kingdom's Dynamic Action Heroes 35 King Shark. So in the next video you'll see later on, go ahead and check it out. If you like the content you see, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you know when I post more. And I will see you guys later.